Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a book from Independence Games, Cybersneaks, Hacking, Clement Sector. This is for Clement Sector 3rd edition. I want to thank the folks at Independence Games for sending this book my way to take a look at. I really enjoyed the contents, and these will work for pretty much any 2-6 role-playing game that you're involved with. So let's take a look inside. Love this cover, by the way, the hood with all the zeros and ones. I asked my son, Adam, who is a computer has a degree in computer science. I asked him to take a look at this, and he liked what he saw. And he said he some of the equipment stuff seemed especially appropriate to him. So accolades to authors Michael Johnson and John Watts, professional in the field, who thought you guys kind of nailed it. So taking a look here, this book was published in, well, when was it? Can't find it. A few years ago. I can't find the date on it. Well, this is available as a PDF on the Independence Games website or through DriveThruRPG. So here we get a nice look at the table of contents, a nice depiction of the front cover again, and we get a nice introduction. Hacking, and we're all familiar with what that is, unfortunately, with all the privacy protection and everything we all have to go through when we are online. And this book is just kind of how to bring that to your gaming table. So it starts with WorldNets, which is the World Wide Web as we know it now, the history of WorldNets, and then hacktivism. Hacktivism, I like this term. It's a combination of the words hacking and activism. So it's somebody who's hacking for a purpose. So if they believe that they should save the whales and hacking a website will help them do so, then they go ahead and the hacktivist will go ahead and attack the website and take care of that. Enhanced reality and then virtual reality. I like this section. They talk about people who basically give up on life and go into a virtual reality setting full time. They refer to themselves, or they're referred to as lifers. People who have, for whatever reason, decided that the real world is not for them and they're going to live in their fantasy world. Kind of interesting, a little Matrix flavor to that. I liked it. World nets and communication. And then they talk about the world nets in Clement Sector and where you're going to encounter the world nets. So basically, anytime you're approaching any starport, you're going to get some kind of world net sent to your ship, and it's going to be downloaded to your ship with any kind of incoming communications. So you get to find out what's going on, local laws, local law levels, any kind of restrictions in the area. It's all right there for you, law levels and surveillance. And then we take a look at hacking itself, the history of hacking, social engineering. Basically, you want someone to think the way you think. You go ahead and you put what you think they should think in front of them often enough, and eventually some people will start to believe it is the truth. We're all dealing with that now in one way or the other, and it's something that will continue in the future and is brought up very nicely in this section. Air gapping. Air gapping is interesting. Job I had when I was in high school was to rebuild old speakers. An uncle of mine had a business. And speakers and the old ones had a big heavy magnet, and they had something called the air gap. And the air gap was a cylindrical portion with the speaker where you would put the voice coil in, and the gap let the voice coil move up and down and create the music. So when I saw this, I flashed back to high school and working for my uncle. So then we get a nice look at hacking kits, the equipment you can use. I like this part. This is probably my favorite part of the book. There's a lot of equipment in here that you can both have as someone who is traveling through your 2-6 game or is trying to stop somebody from doing something in the game. So we got a nice look at ham comps accessories. I like this. This is all built with the same flavor of what's available today, just taken a few hundred years into the future and allowing for greater tech. I thought this was a really nice touch. You can have a tablet that's got a retro look. You have the Bolt 2332. It's an older hand computer. You've got Bolt glasses, so they can do a heads up right there onto your eyeglasses. You've got the Bolt FT 2433. It's the finger trap, and it just kind of puts a dynamic interface right there, holographic interface for you. You've got the Bolt glass, which works with that. Foreign Nobility FN20. It's popular modern hand comp, available and it's very small and very powerful. but sometimes it's implanted under the skin, and sometimes local law level or custom will dictate that people want to know if you have one of these, so they'll go ahead and they'll discolor the skin a little bit to show that you do have the hand comp. I thought that was a pretty nice touch too. Of course, if you're undercover for whatever reason, you wouldn't have the discolored skin. Foreign Nobility FNC 2300, most popular accessory available for hand comp in Clement sector. We get headgear, Satchel MC1. Then we get hardware and software. We get a nice look at some hardware and software you can add into your game. Many space games rely on computer breaching or computer access as one of the main plot points. That's why I got really excited about reading this book, because virtually every 2-6 space game I've ever run at some point or another has involved some form of hacking. And it's kind of nice to have some nuts and bolts how to actually do it. I realize other games have addressed that, but I thought this was brought out nicely, and to have a whole book dedicated to it was pretty effective for me. So we get a look at some of the software. Mind comps. These were pretty cool. Mind comps are computers in your brain, and some of the things you can do with mind comps. You can breach different types of software right with your brain. Secure user input access, the hack, electronics technician, and then investigating the target so you can probe it to see if it's something you can hack or not. And then you can go ahead and do the attempted hack, and then you get the outcome. So nice section there on how to do that. Malware, why not? Viruses, worms, Trojans, spyware, all important things that we all deal with on a daily basis, unfortunately. And they're all called out here, and they're extrapolated into the future for us a little bit. What you can and can't get away with. And of course, virus has a very special meaning. If you happen to have followed a different 2-6 game through the 90s, virus came to be somewhat infamous for us. And then hacking a mini comp, and then mind comp, and then hacking robots. This is really neat. I like the idea that robots are just generally tougher to hack. And then we get into AI, which I really like. AI being very difficult to hack. AI to AI hacking. Anti-intrusion system security against mind comps. And mind comps have some defenses. The mind hammer. I really enjoyed the mind hammer. Basically, if you try to get in through your mind comp and you are detected, they can fire a mind hammer at you. It's a retaliatory attack, and if successful, will render the hacker unconscious and trigger psychological harm, an aneurysm, neurotransmitter collapse, stroke, respiratory, or heart failure. A mind hammer is a terrible thing to waste. I thought that was really cool. I like that. And then we have a lesser one, the mind stun. If you don't want to kill the person, but maybe find out why they were there, so you take them alive. So you have anti-mind comp software, defensive mind comp software. And now we go into the careers. So some of the careers are pretty sweet. You've got the hacker, which kind of says it for itself. You are a person who engages in criminal activity using electronic devices. And you get your nice look at your career there. One thing that Clement sector does very well is gives us a lot of careers to choose from. A hacktivist. You're a person who uses their hacking skills in support of a particular political or social goal. So again, if you want to save the whales, and you can do so with a computer, this is a career for you. Corporate online security. You are a person who uses their skills with a computer to defend corporate interests. Kind of says it all. And government online security. You are a person who uses their skills with a computer to defend your world's government. Also pretty nice. I can see any of these being classes in your 2-6 game. This one I kind of didn't get. I could think of some interesting stories to go with this, but it's the lifer. You're a person who's decided to spend your entire life online without real-life interaction. And I thought of a neat idea for this, for a story. If you are, as the player group, you are trying to get a lifer who has vital information, or maybe he's a billionaire who has sole control of his monies, and for whatever reason in the story, you need to wake him up and say, hey, do this. You can actually find yourself having to go into his fantasy world and deal with what he's dealing with on his terms. I thought that'd be a neat way to use the lifer. Again, a lot like The Matrix. So we go through the lifer, and then we get some famous hackers. Paul Avon, his hacker name is Duncan Prentice. Jiang Zhu, Bad Gong. Bergdora McGovern. And then we got all the legalese for these books and the back cover. Shall we play a game? Nice little War Games reference there. I enjoyed this. It's $24.99 for the printed book. The PDF is also available for download. I will go ahead and attach a link for both Independence Games website and for Drive-Thru RPG. Sorry, I just blanked there. So that's a quick look at Cybersneaks, Hacking in Clement Sector, 3rd edition. Again, I want to thank the folks from Independence Games for sending this my way. I really enjoyed the read. And please take a look at it. I think it'll add to any of your 2-6 science fiction role-playing games. That's all I've got to say today from page 121. I thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.